Regionally connected by Napoli Railway, Calabria Highway, Naples International Airport, and Marina di Stabia, Pompeii boasts one of the most infamous volcanoes in the world, Mount Vesuvius. But thanks to the successful efforts of brilliant engineering to tame this once behemoth of nature, Pompeii's 1 million citizens can now enjoy its relaxing coastal climate along the Mediterranean Sea.
After a devastating mid-21st century explosion that wiped out millions of people and billions in infrastructure, Pompeii literally rose from the ashes thanks to the Phoenix Project, an infrastructural solution for economic and environmental sustainability. A monitored underground piping network manages the volcano's volatility, converting this deadly liability into Pompeii's greatest infrastructural asset.
Mechanical and civil engineers designed and constructed pressure-relieving graphene pipes drilled into Vesuvius's core to slowly release gases with explosive pressure. An elemental converter captures and converts the poisonous gases to make products like ethanol biofuel used to power our electrical transportation grid. A volcanic geothermal system uses the remaining superhot gas to flash vaporize water into steam, creating the pressure needed to rotate turbines and generate electricity for the rest of the city.
At lower elevations, graphene pipes tap into Vesuvius's magma chamber and release lava to flow channels that divert the molten rock to our construction manufacturing plant and slowly cool it into pumice. When crushed and combined with volcanic soil, the pumice creates a strong, cheap, easy to manufacture, and thermally efficient concrete aggregate used for Pompeii's buildings and structures, including aqueducts, which deliver water to Vesuvius Community Forest.
Saltwater pumped from the Mediterranean Sea and through Vesuvius's core evaporates into steam. The steam rises before cooling and condensing into Vesuvius Reservoir near the top of the volcano. A dam releasing the water creates Vesuvius Falls, which supplies Pompeii's underground pipes and distributes drinking water to the populace. Turbines within the falls capture its kinetic energy and help fuel the pumps which deliver the Mediterranean water to Vesuvius.
As for waste disposal, underground collection tubes deliver refuse to conveyor belts near the bottom of Vesuvius, whose 1200 degrees Celsius temperatures produce natural incineration. Visitors can learn about and study Pompeii's infrastructure at Vesuvius Educational and Recreational Learning Center and Pompeii University. After hiking the scenic trails along the volcanic cliffs, visitors can travel inside to learn more about the Phoenix Project's inner workings.
Our unique liquid grid pattern walking and biking paths at street level provide a pleasant way for citizens to navigate Pompeii's downtown. A liquid grid merges the streamlined travel of a traditional grid with more natural bends and curves to slow down bikers, increase pedestrians' awareness of their surroundings, and provide natural pockets of tree clusters along the pathway. For longer travel, Pompeii converted former downtown roads, now covered with many feet of volcanic ash, into an underground transit system.
Coordinated by our quantum computer, both below-ground pods and above-ground bikes are rented commodities whose availability and locations can be found through our city's travel app, which increases their use and decreases the amount of traffic and demand for parking space. Underground transit stations and bike rental kiosks at each public square provide easily accessible and convenient transitions across modes of transportation.
Pompeii's most famous square, Rock Italy Plaza, provides captivating entertainment experiences, rewarding visitors with prodigious gladiator-like battles, exciting chariot races, rock concerts, and movie extravaganzas on the ultimate movable matter stage. Projections of entertainment on the dome, surrounding buildings, and roof of the plaza immerses guests into an all-consuming and diverse world of entertainment.
After an unforgettable night at Rock Italy, many residents returned to one of Pompeii's interlaced residential complexes, 6-story apartment blocks stacked in a hexagonal arrangement to form large, open, permeable courtyards. Engineered wind tunnels and strategically placed pools and fountains within these shaded courtyards create naturally air-conditioned oases amidst Pompeii's blazing summer heat. Roman-style baths and natural public shared gardens and playgrounds, along with open-air cafes, serve as public spaces within the interlaced complex.
Centrally located public service blocks within our interlace contain urgent care facilities which handle most medical needs and prevent overcrowding at Pompeii's downtown hospital. Children partly learn about sustainability within the public school blocks by caring for one of the interlace's many public gardens. Adjacent to schools, emergency personnel provide on-site security for the residents and their children.
Unappealing public space designs of the past produce serious problems for urban centers. Common eyesores, including costly polluted brownfields and previously developed gray fields, presented health hazards, drove down land values, and discouraged development, including businesses looking for investment opportunities.
We used the engineering design process to rebuild our city. The problem was to create better public spaces, partly through redesigning gray or brown fields. Vesuvius's eruption left us with one large brownfield.
Our potential solution required us to first ensure an explosion would not reoccur. Through innovative engineering, we transformed this liability into an asset. allowing us to focus on redesigning the city's public spaces, creating a robust network of diverse places within residential complexes, and as strategic convergent points, make them readily accessible to residents.
Our most promising solutions include culturally relevant places like Rock Italy Plaza, Pompeii ruins, and Roman baths, but also natural places like Vesuvius Community Forest, where citizens can enjoy whitewater rides in Aqueduct Park. This network of public spaces, as demonstrated on the model, raises land value, increases tax revenue, and improves city services.
Of course, tapping into a volcano does have its trade-offs. Countermeasures and contingency plans ensure public safety given Vesuvius's potential volatility. A network of carbon fiber shielded sensors throughout Pompeii's underground tunnels monitor levels of heat, gas, and pressure, while NASA ICESat satellites measure topographic changes to detect early warning signs of trouble. Adjustments to gas and magma release ensure the volcano remains dormant. Above-ground evacuation procedures and wind turbines, hydroelectric, and other clean energy sources are required in case the volcano becomes increasingly volatile or fails to generate enough power.
Pompeii's engineers braved these challenges. Chemical engineers developed and built a volcanic geothermal system in the city and attended to the thermodynamics of changing lava into a usable, safe energy solution. Automation engineers programmed and coordinated the computers, equipment, and peripherals within the public spaces, while transportation engineers designed and scheduled the flow of goods and people to and from and within the city.
The Phoenix Project tamed the beast of nature that left Pompeii a brown field of ashes and transformed its destructive power into a modern engineering marvel unrivaled by any city that stood before it. Welcome to the city of tomorrow.
Start with a different question. We always start with the same one.
Great job. So what trade-offs or compromises did you make while designing your city's public spaces?
So we tried to reduce the amount of trade-offs. One of them is with the interlace complex, where we have public gardens on each of the roofs, which create 112% more usable green space than a vacant field with an equal footprint.
Another way that we reduced a lot of the trade-offs was with making all of our public spaces all spread out through our model, and they're all easily accessible to all types of residents with our underground transportation system and our above-ground transportation system.
One area in which we did have some trade-offs was with our enhanced geothermal system, which uses the remaining superhot gas to flash vaporize the water into steam, which generates a lot of our power. To put a city next to a volcano is potentially dangerous, but we use a lot of contingency plans, and we are able to release and change the excess magma levels so that we can keep the pressure levels at a safe level.
So, first, how many people were on your team? And second, what was your team's vision, and how did it evolve and change as you worked together to finish the project?
So we had approximately 25 team members, and our teacher's philosophy was that each person could make themselves indispensable, and therefore we were able to give everyone a wide variety of jobs, whether it's doing the art in our model, writing the essay, doing the virtual SimCity, or presenting, and we were all able to take those, do those extremely well, and put those all together to make one city.
Our teacher also knew from previous experience that certain objects had to be done at a certain time, so we knew when we had to have all of our research done and our essay written, and then coming out of Christmas, we had to have it turned into a presentation and memorized so we could spend the last 3 weeks working on our model defense and questions and answers, and so building the model followed a similar timeline.
We also made some goals at the beginning of the process, and our teacher kept us updated on how those goals were being finished through a constant email thread.
Well, besides the wind and geothermal and also hydro, you also have a nuclear power plants inside the city. How are you dealing with the safety for the citizens?
Well, unlike nuclear fusion is a completely safe process that replicates the sun's pattern of changing hydrogen into helium.
We also kept most of our waste management underground and also utilized natural incineration within Vesuvius, so the pollution never really reaches our residents.
As well as having a quantum computer in our city that overlooks all of our citizens and helps with crime and health and communication, we were able to address problems very easily.
How did you choose the location for your city?
So we chose Pompeii mostly because of the rich historical background it has, and we wanted to implement some of that into our city. So one of those is the Pompeii ruins, which we re-excavated. Also, we have Rock Italy Plaza, which is our movable matter theater, and we recreate gladiator battles and chariot races all in movable matter. We also redone the Roman baths in our interlaces, which serve really as rec centers. So all those things combine the historical aspect of the city with the futuristic aspect to make one really unique thing that's never been done before.
It was also conveniently located right next to the Mediterranean Sea, so we could use that as a water source.
Another reason is because of Mount Vesuvius. We were researching how we would use a volcano's power and heat to generate electricity with enhanced geothermal, and we decided on Pompeii because, like you said, it's rich historical background, but also it has a large volcano that could possibly generate the most power.
Can you talk about the education system and how children and adults are educated in your city?
So the education starts off within the interlaces, where we have public school blocks, and the children can learn about sustainability by learning to care for one of the many public gardens.
We also have Pompeii University, where students can go for a secondary education to learn about engineering.
For post-secondary education, we have an intensive internship program where citizens can learn on the job at our various manufacturing plants.
So what part of your model are you most proud of and why?
For me, I would say the interlace, and that's because it's a new technique that's never really been done before, and we're stacking buildings hexagonally rather than vertically, or horizontally rather than vertically, and we never realized the many benefits of that, such as increased sociability and communication within the residents, as well as the creation of 112% more green space than an equal field with a vacant field with an equal footprint.
For me, it would be Rock Italy, because I think it was a really cool idea to use the movable matter, which implements the futuristic idea as well as bringing in the historical aspect of our city.
My personal favorite is our NASA ICESat satellite. We actually visited Goddard Space Center and talked to them about their ICESat satellite and how we would use that to measure the topographic changes.